right, we're speaking to Dr. Jenny Goh this morning. She's an acupuncturist and traditional Chinese medicine or TCM practitioner. She's also the founder of Do Visage in TTDI. It's a holistic wellness center combining Eastern acupuncture with Western modern technology. Good morning, Dr. Jenny.
Good morning, Bel.
Thank you so much for speaking to us on the LITE Breakfast for alternative medicine. We're really interested to know what you do and why it works and things like that. So, Dr. Jenny, maybe before we start, what got you interested in Chinese medicine in the first place? Like, was there a particular incident or an event that led you to want to become a TCM practitioner?
I guess this is part of my practice journey. But before I joined the beauty industry, I was having a head injury when I was only 5 months old. So I was admitted to a hospital, Asunda Hospital, for I think 6 months. I was in there. So they do a surgery for me, and I practically fell down from a high table when I was a baby. So my head hit on the floor. So after that, when I grow up, I was thinking why I'm so much different compared to others kids, because that I don't talk, I don't stay focused when I study, and when this teacher talked to me, I cannot understand what the teacher trying to tell me.
Oh.
So
hold on.
Connection issue.
Connection's bad,
I was on.
Sorry, your connection.
Now okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you go back to you couldn't understand what
what the teacher was saying? Yeah. Are you using Wi-Fi, Dr. Jenny? Because it comes and goes.
Practically, I don't understand the connections. Hold on, So I'm using they somehow that jump into the ground floor one. Okay. So I'm now connect to the first floor.
Okay.
Hold on. Now okay?
Yeah,
yes.
now it's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you couldn't when you were a child you couldn't understand what the doctors or teacher?
Yeah, practically I cannot stay focused, and I need to sleep. I think I need to sleep more than 10 hours or 15 hours a day. So I cannot do homework. So that's how that I think why I'm so much different compared to others kids.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I grow up and I on antibiotics, cough medicines every month. So I also do not know what's wrong with me. And after when I grow up, then only I know these incidents happen to me. Then after that, I cannot always rely on medicines, because once I take Western medicines, I cough even more. So, and when I grow up, I think when I age of 20, and I admit to hospital because of I cough, and until I cough blood. So at that moment, and they put me on a strong antibiotics, 1 day 9 tablets. And I have a constant headache, which they give me Panadol, whatever, it cannot kill. So, and I on these constant antibiotics, and my problems doesn't solve. And I asked that doctor, I say, why am I like that? The doctor say, just like that. So from there on, because I realized that there is my aunts or my mom say that when you cough, you cannot eat chicken. So from that, because the hospital provide us the chicken meal, chicken porridge, or chicken rice, something like that.
Chicken soup and stuff like that.
Chicken soup, yes. Yeah. So that's how that when I realized that, I drink that already. So I refuse to take any of food that contain chicken, and I'm okay. I'm just recovered. Yeah.
I thought that was an old wives' tale. Like if you cough, don't take chicken.
No, it's real. I do a lot of tests for myself. And I also experience bleeding problems as well. And it practically bleed for 1 year. So I thought I'm gone already. So, and then I do a lot of tests for myself, like 3 months, I don't eat chicken, 3 months, I don't drink coffee, I don't drink Starbucks coffee, I don't drink 3 months coffee. I do a test for myself. I said, what's wrong with me? So from there on, I go back to a very ancient way. That means what the old people are saying, why you can't do this, why you cannot eat and run, or you after run, you cannot eat, something like that. So that is why that I'm so involved with TCM. Firstly, because of myself. Secondly, because of my parents. My dad was a this in year 2000, the time before I studied TCM. My dad was a bypass patient, doing a heart surgery patient when he was very young, I think age of 50. So, and I seen the whole journey, I go through the whole journey with him from admit into hospital after operations. When after he came out from this operations room, I was shocked. I practically was shocked. I cannot recognize him. He just blew up like a balloon though. And I remember my dad had wearing a ring. So the doctor had to remove the ring as well. So I don't understand. I say, why the aircon so cold and my dad wasn't wearing any clothes? And that doctor say, because he was having fever and he very hot. So that he no need to wear. And then the doctor asked me to buy ice cream for him because at the time I didn't know. I didn't know that was not a wrong, not correct these methods for TCM method. So I go and buy. I bought the Haagen-Dazs ice cream for him. So he take, and then after that, he discharged from the hospital. He sleep every day. You can 20 hours, one day have 24 hours, he sleep 20 hours. So I was wondering why like that. I cannot understand. I say why he take medicine, he still not recover. So I spent almost a month with him and sleep next to his bed with my mom. And then every day, wake him up to go for morning walk. So at night, come back to accompany him for dinner. So I see the change in humans, even though you seek for Western treatment. Western treatments are very good for emergency cases, but sometimes to a human's feelings, it doesn't solve very much on feelings. Yeah, so that is why that I like TCM so much because that it treat the root cause.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you went to school to study for TCM, and you even got a doctorate degree in TCM as well. And like, how long did you have to go to school to get your degree, your master's, and then your doctorate?
As I say, I was not focused. I cannot remember. So my method was have to repeat and repeat again. That means when I read first page, and like some certain people, they are very good that they can from first page and they read till the end. I cannot. I read for the first 2 page and I lost already. I have to go back to first page and read again. So because of my brain, I cannot stay focused. So that is why that it took me about 17 years to study, for my first PhD. Yeah.
Wait, so you still have the issue with focus and everything from the time when you were a baby until now? You still go through that?
Now less because that I understand why I'm like that. And at that moment, I was also having a depression. I don't talk. So I have to find out what's wrong with me. So that is why that I think maybe of my past so that I can sense people who have depressions or not because of my journey lah. So for this stay focused, I can, but depends on what I like. Like for example, I cannot count like number. I cannot, if you ask me, give me 10 numbers to add up, I cannot add up. I have to use calculator. So I'm very poor in numbers, but I'm very good in memorize the features of the human features, the shape, the colors, and what's wrong with them, I can remember. I can remember very well, but I cannot remember numbers, and I also cannot remember the date. So that's why each time people ask me, what's the date today? I say, wait.
But that's quite surprising because you said that TCM can also help you with your psychological illnesses. Like it helped you with your depression. Can
Yes.
TCM help with psychological illnesses as well?
Yes, because that in TCM, we don't talk about organs. Just like for example, just quote an example of my dad issue. Yeah, my dad was having this bypass, and then after that went through 2 times of heart failure journey, and doctor already announced heart failure, and doctor cannot do anything, and he just need my dad to go back to rest. So at that moment, I was panicked. It's just few years ago. I was having a panic, and I told myself, please do not remember the words of heart failure. Because why? When ordinary people, when you just keep on thinking about that words of heart failure, you just think that heart, it just stop. Yeah, it's just like a car failure, you know. So, but humans organs doesn't work like the car. So, and I asked my dad, I say, doctor announced your heart failure. Can you walk? He said, yes. Can you sleep? Yes. Can you eat? Yes. Everything okay. So as long as in TCM theory, when you can do these 4 things, you can eat, sleep, poo, and pee, your organs and the functions of the organs are still okay. So now in TCM theory, we wanted to talk about the functions of the organ and not the organs. So for Western, they are talking about the organs, where Chinese medicines, TCM, they talk about the flow, the chi flow of the whole body, the organ structures.
The meridians,
How,
right?
how does it connected to
Right.
each other? Yeah, it's just like a teamwork. So it have to work together. Practically, it worked that way. So it has the yin and the yang, right? Yin and yang, it can be top is yang, bottom human's leg is yin, and then inside is yin, outside is yang. So you using this is easy, like why depressions is in TCM, this Western theory will say that, oh, maybe your hormone imbalance, your brain lack of some things, right? But in TCM point of view, yes, no doubt that is a Western theory. It does help for our analysis, yes. But the thing is, when you have depression, that it must be something that you lack of. But what does it? Because this is something that it come on and off. It just comes sometimes and then it just disappeared. So it's the mood changes. So it's talk about the yin and yang balance. Yeah. So once you balance this yin and yang, then you feel okay. So I'm using that. But now I don't have depressions already. I'm cured. Yeah. So that is why I always tell people that be happy. Anything, when you face anything, you just laugh, just smile. It will over. Yeah.
So
like
how can TCM practices, how can some of these TCM practices like acupuncture, tui nine, cupping and all that, how does it help you balance the yin and yang in someone's body?
Well, put it general, like for example, in olden days, there is a words, I'm trying to describe it because it's in the olden Chinese words. The first things is they do is acupuncture in the olden day. First method is acupuncture. Second method is the mossy bastions, is the burn things. Maybe you'll call it incense or something.
Incense.
Incense,
Yeah. But that is not incense. It's a Chinese medicines that's contained inside that roll.
Oh, right.
Okay.
You burn it to warm that points, because as I mentioned, your body have yin and yang. Yeah. So this acupuncture needle can help to can you use manipulate? Yeah, to adjust the chi flow, to connect to each other, because there is 5 elements in that points, acupuncture points. There is 5 elements contained on each point. So when you use the needle, for example, that person's lack of earth, the energy of earth, so that you can, from the pulse, that you will know which point that to go to. Then you choose that acupuncture point with needle, or sometimes they will put that Chinese medicines motivation on top of the needle, or if not, they will just put it standing there in front and point at the point. So that to improve and to increase the yang energy of that point, so that whole meridians it will link. Yeah.
How many points do we have in our body? Is there a lot of points in our body?
A lot, yeah. For a normal one, usually people say 360 or 65, but there is more than points like that, more than that, yeah. So more than that, because of acupuncture, there is different, different groups. They have different idea of how to do the acupuncture. Yeah. So we'll come back to just some of the questions that you asked, how you use acupuncture to treat. So first is acupuncture first. The method always is acupuncture first, because you need to adjust this chi flow. To use mossy bastions to warm up the point if that person's having a cold body. Yeah, let's say for example that person always feeling cold, then you can add in mossy bastions to stimulate the points. Then the third will be the Chinese medicines. Why that you have to in this sequence? Because the human's body, definitely need to adjust the qi flow first. Just like you need to sleep first to get good rest. When you wake up, you'll feel hungry. But if you don't sleep, for example, 24 hours, 48 hours, will you feel hungry? You don't, because your stomach bloats already. Right? So that is why that you need to adjust the qi flow first. Let the qi flows in that meridian or in that organs run smoothly first. It's like a car. Then only you put in petrol. Then you only take medicines. That will be very effective.
Okay.
Usually when you do like that, that means you drink 1 time or 2 times Chinese medicines, you will feel much better already. And this happened to my dad.
Okay.
When the time that announced heart failure, because that his whole body already filled up with water and he cannot breathe properly. Yeah. So
Okay.
this is how we do. Yeah.
Did you help your dad with acupuncture and TCM?
Yes, now he is my loyal client. He have to maintain, because my dad heart functions only 40% compared to the normal people. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
how long did it take for your dad to? Because you said he bloated up and everything, right?
yeah.
When you started administering your own the TCM, did you see changes immediately?
Oh yeah, of course. TCM methods, it always is immediate, because at that time doctor prescribed him the medicines to reduce the water retentions for heart failure patients. So he took already and the water come back. Yeah, but think about that. How our body has so much water on the skin. That must be from somewhere.
Yep.
Right? Just like flood. Beside the water rain, the rain come down from the sky, and there must be somewhere it stuck so that it caused a flood. It's the same things goes to our human's body. So my dad was that time it was the kidney functions not that good, because kidney is like an engine. You need to filter and then you need to move the water, right? So that's why you urine a lot or less. That will determines how much water will retain on your body. So then, and beside that, because that my dad heart functions already weakened, right? So heart is like a pump. So where this pump is inside house, the pump goes out already. What happened? The water pressure will be slow. It's the same function. So that's why that in TCM theory, we are talking about the functions, the organs. So this is how we do it.
Okay.
But when it comes to urgent case, then there are more things to do. When it's normal, like pain management, that is easy.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, like, what can you cure with TCM? Because a lot of people think that acupuncture, Chinese medicine, it's not a fast cure. You know, you have to do it for a long period of time before you can get a cure. Like for acupuncture, a lot of people think that, oh, only when I have aches and pains, only I go for acupuncture. You know,
Yeah.
if I have fever, like I don't go for an acupuncture, I go see a doctor, a Western doctor.
Yeah. For TCM, practically it can do anything, because we are talking about qi flow. You just need to balance the yin and the yang, right? But again, it depends. Is there any complications or not? But let's say, for example, it's just normal pain. Just talk about pain. Yeah. An example, a young lady with a pain and an old lady with a pain, right? But why young lady, the pain can treat faster than the old lady? Right? This theory. So why it become like that? Because when you're young, your immune systems, your organs, functions of your organs are still good, so that it can actually create the painkiller effects to treat the pains by itself. It's a self-healing process. So whereby the acupuncture come in, just like for example, lady like the cross leg. When you cross leg, your pelvic definitely was not aligned. So that will cause pain as well. So that's why you have to see this lady where their pain, the root cause is because of cross leg or fell down. You must differentiate in this, or they did some surgery or things like that. So once you know the root cause, then you'll be able to treat it. But unlike its old lady, a little bit different. If let's say they already menopause or they before menopause, that a bit complicated, because why their progesterone level, their estrogens level going down. Because estrogens in our body for female is act as like a painkiller effects.
Right.
Yeah, it actually helps that. So if let's say, for example, if you lack of estrogen, that pain will consist. But sometimes that people will say, oh, is it arthritis or things like that? But yes and no, because it depends on whether their lifestyle make it happens or not. You also have to study that. Then to know that whether these treatments, how fast can it help to treat this young lady or this old lady. But definitely need to cook together with lifestyles. You have to do something, and even those your food intakes. Because now it's a lot of times that no matter young or old people, they like to drink cold drinks or eat ice cream, or they go into Western style of food intake. So that is why that because our gene doesn't allow so much on Western food.
Our genes.
Genetics, yes.
Okay, our DNA.
Yeah.
Okay. So we cannot drink cold water and eat Western food.
No, because when you drink or eat cold food, your blood circulations will be affected, right? That's why that when the doctor asks you improve your blood circulations, what you do? Go exercise. So when you run, your circulations will move faster. But when you sit and eat and drink cold drinks, what happens? Your muscles will be suddenly get cold and they will shrink, become shorter. So once the muscle or tendons become shorter, you get the pain. That is how motivations come in.
Interesting. I mean, we always think that these are all like, old wives' tales and
No,
like
it's real.
no crossing legs. Even crossing legs can cause you pain in the rest of your body.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how much of TCM practices or beliefs is based on scientific research? Because I mean, how do you research yin and yang? How do you find out if the body has chi?
Yesterday I just thought an answer. I think you may ask these questions. It's just like, newborn baby. I think maybe this example may be correct. Yeah. You think about that, because when we talk about adult, it will be hard already. We talk about newborn baby. Once newborn baby, mother delivered, what happened? Why the doctor must let the baby cry?
To
Right?
clear the lungs, right, of water.
Yes, to activate the lung movement
Oh,
of
I
the
see.
lung.
Okay.
Okay.
Right? So when they cry, they not like adult, cry like that, they don't. Or right, they will wow, why like this? So when your mouth open, so then you do this wow, so that the lung will start to function, and then will activate the heart blood flow to go into the lung and work together, because heart and lung always work together. Yeah. So, and beside that, when you have these reactions to the baby, they will start the first breath. That is chi.
Okay.
And beside that, what the mother do, the doctor will place the baby next to the mother, because you need to have that connections. Then after that, you breastfeed. Why is important to breastfeed? So that the mother hormones will be balanced, the womb will contract, right? This is God give things. So we have to use our self-healing to heal ourselves. This is like baby have rash. What you do? You use the breast milk to apply. Correct? Yeah. So with this theory, and then when you breastfeed, that baby practically they take in food because they cannot eat solid food yet. Correct? So when they breastfeed, they consume the milk already, then they will sleep. Then when they're hungry, they will wake up and cry again, and this become a cycle until they grow up and they be able to eat solid food. But before they eat solid food, you will provide milk first, and you provide the porridge, soft food first. So the same things goes to our human's body. If you are sick, if we are adult, we sick, what happened? The first thing we think of what? We think of porridge. Soft food first. You have to go back like what baby did. And then beside that, after baby eat, so then why you need to do these actions to let the baby burp?
Yeah.
Right? Because the chi start. You have to help that baby to allow that chi stuck in the stomach to come out. It's just like, because you're not sure whether that baby very full or not full, but unlike adult, we can feel. So it's like, if you eat too much of Western food, what happens? You think of Coca-Cola, right? Once you sit in, you boom, you feel, so comfortable. Yeah? So it's the same things. This is how the chi flow in our body. You have
Okay.
to go up, you have to go and come down. But it becomes that it cannot go down, so that it have to come out from the mouth. So that is why that in a human's body, either you burp or you fart.
But
Okay.
but doctor, I still don't understand it, like how do you measure chi in your body, or how do you know that yin and yang exist in the body, that it's imbalance?
That had to go through a pulse reading, and also to ask that patients. Let's say, for example, if you will ask a question like, do you feel cold or do you feel hot? If you feel hot, then you have too much yang in the body. You have less yin. That's why that your face are very red, your lips are red, and then or crack, things like that is too much yang. That's why that you like to drink water. You feel thirsty easily. When you feel thirsty, then meaning to say that you have lack of yin in your body.
Okay. But if
How
you have too much yin,
You have too much yin, you feel very cold.
so it's just the hot and cold in the body.
Simple theory, yes. But there is a fake one also.
Fake one.
Fake hot, yeah. Just like, for example, hot flush. Hot flush is a fake one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why that you see like your mother, for example, yeah, mother before menopause or during menopause journey. So once they have hot flush, you see after the hot flush, the heat come out. But when they have the hot flush at time, they will on the aircon. Very hot, or sit in front
yeah.
sit in front of the fan. They say, very hot, right? Then after hot already, the heat goes off already. They feel cold. They feel suddenly chill. They need to wear or cover their neck. Correct?
Right.
And you see that if let's say you spend some time to observe them, after they finish the menopause, they start to tell you, I'm feeling very cold. Because why? Their young energy almost used up.
Left them already. I see.
Left them, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So
Okay.
to have ultimate, so in the TCM philosophy, to have the best of health is to have a balance of the cold and the hot in the body, the yin and the yang.
Yin and yang, yes. Yin and the yang. It must be balanced. So that is why that throughout the treatments, why we ask so many questions. Because from the question and the answer that you give it to us, we will know what happened to your body. And we have to find out the root cause. What are the root cause that it caused you to become like that? Then we have to address it.
Okay. Now, doctor, I know you've personally incorporated like Eastern practices like acupuncture and tuina and cupping and all that with Western modern technology at your clinic.
Yeah.
Why do you think this is necessary to marry the two?
It is important because that we are living in the modern lifestyle. Yeah. And asking modern people to do something not modern is a bit tough because I actually started as a therapist. I use a lot of modern technology, modern machines, high technology machines to do it on the face for beauty. But sometimes certain things that it cannot be achieved, just like, for example, hormonal pigmentations. So, but for me, I'm trying to find a permanent solutions. Yeah, during that period, just like, for example, hormonal acne or hormonal pigmentations. So this is something that you cannot use doing like extractions or apply products, and it can disappear because it is because due to the internal
Hormones.
changes and cause the external factors. So with this one, so that's why that I incorporate to use the acupuncture treatments in for the patients. Yeah. And why Eastern and Western? Because to me, I wanted to seek for a long-lasting treatment because humans are not just skin, muscle, and bone. There's a lot of other things that combines together. We have feelings as well. We have pain, and the pain maybe will move here and there. So how you can do the treatments to provide a fast and effective and lasting results.
Mm.
Because let's say, for example, if you just use acupuncture treatments, if you have pain, yes, you after treatment, you may feel that instantly, oh, I have less pain. But very fast, probably tomorrow, the pain will come back, right? So then how are we as a modern people, and we have a very hectic lifestyle, how many people can afford to go every day for acupuncture for 2 weeks, 1 month? Not many. Unlike in China, yes, they practically can rent a room, stay there to treat 30 days, non-stop.
Every day.
Every day, yes. But can
And
we do
after the
that?
30 days, they're completely fine.
Yeah, if they're not completely fine, then they continue another 30 days. But can
Okay.
we do that? We cannot. If you ask me, I cannot. Yeah, I cannot. So if I also cannot do it, then I'm not asking my patients to do it. So that is why that I'm seeking for a fast and effective solutions, because every individual have different conditions. But how are you going to use one theory, TCM theory, to target so many illnesses? So that involve east and west. Yes.
Interesting. But I mean, you have people who don't believe in TCM, of course, but you
Yes.
also have those people who only believe in TCM,
Yeah.
like even when they have terminal illnesses like cancer and whatnot, they said they think that, oh, only TCM can cure me. Does it work that way, doctor?
No, because that if it's terminal, I don't advise to. But if let's say from just beginning, that maybe stage 1, if they want to try, yes. But usually in Malaysia, for what I see, very rare cancer patients, they only choose to do with TCM treatments. Very
Okay.
rare, very rare. Unless they trust that TCM practitioner or TCM doctor very much. If not, usually in Malaysia, they will seek Western treatment first, then they will combine together with TCM treatment.
So it's
Mean
like
they will
complementary. Yeah.
correct. That is why that TCM in Malaysia, they call it complementary treatment. It's not the main one, because that a lot of times that I also would advise that patients, you go for, if you need to scan, you go. Need to do any scan, any test, please go, right? Because that why that patients need to see by their own eyes to know what happened to them with all the black and white records, so that they understand the first step first. They have, oh, I have this problem in me, so what do I do now? Then only they seek for solutions, then only practical. Because unlike it's like, we have to try to teach them what is yin and yang, then you do this, don't do this, so that will be tough already.
Okay.
So
But can you diagnose someone with cancer just by like reading the pulse or looking at the face and the symptoms?
yes, but I wouldn't tell you it's 100%, because why? To us as a practitioner, we not using this trick to earn money, right? So I will put it in a very practical way. If let's say I find out, just like for example, colon cancer, because that is a symptoms. Yeah, colon, maybe I will ask them first, because if they feel unwell, so I ask them first, do you have bleeding problems, things like that. Justify first. Then any blood clot in your pool, something like that. And then from the pulse, if we diagnose something, I say, yeah, maybe something goes wrong with this colon. So maybe you go for a check or a scan, so to justify is real or not. Because if not, it will tell the patients that, oh, you have colon cancer. How frightening it is.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't think it's a good idea to do that, because you don't want to frighten that patients. They already very scared. You're trying to frighten them, and it will worsen the conditions. But indeed, you need to help them to understand where goes wrong and help them to solve the problem. I think that's the most important way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, like you've helped a lot of patients. Can you share with us some of your most memorable success stories of patients that you have helped throughout the years that you've been in practice?
First one, of course, is my dad, because when I study TCM,
It was for
firstly,
him. Yeah.
because of myself and also for him.
Yeah.
Then I have one very memorable as one Suri. Yeah, in life I cannot forget about her. And she was a very good lady. And when the client, one Suri, recommend this Suri came to us, and it's in the very urgent situations. She seek treatments in Singapore. She with a very good Western oncologist. So, and I asked that patient, because I'm very scared of negative patients. So they asked that patient, where introduced this sponsor to me. I said, how is she? Is she very positive patient? She said, yes, very. I said, okay, then I do. Because I'm so afraid of the patients that they will always say that, oh, I'm pain, I don't know how. So I think don't know how, then I also don't know how.
Of course, mentally, they need to be strong also in a way.
Of course,
Right.
because that when you are very sick, you keep telling yourself if you are sick, then you will be very sick. But if you tell yourself that I can ride through this no matter how hard it is, then you can. So like this Sui, practically the bodyguard hold her in, she cannot walk.
Oh.
Yeah, two bodyguard hold her
She
in.
had cancer or what?
Yeah, she had cancer. Yeah.
Okay.
So and it's already spread. So that is how that when hold her in, and when I see her, I got shocked, and she can't write also, cannot speak well, cannot write, but she was very determined that she must get well. So throughout the whole journey, for the first 2 weeks, I see her every day until she go to Singapore for checkup, because she have every 2 weeks go for Singapore to do blood test to see the reading. So, and I got very happy together with her determinations, and the reading went down. And the spread of the breast cancer cells gone.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
She have wound
What
cancer.
did you do? What kind of treatments did you do for her?
For very beginning, because she was very weak, I cannot do much except the acupuncture. Because when people weak as this, we don't do tuina and cupping, because we don't want to give them extra burdens, because they are very, very tired already. So I just adjust the chi flow. And then after that, I talk to her, understands about her conditions, and then just tell her how does she feel. But she can feel herself very well. So that is how that we successfully treat that, and now she is cancer free already.
Wow. Okay. Couldn't walk, and then now she's cancer free.
Yeah,
Nice.
and she do a lot of charity now. Very good lady.
Okay. But Dr. Jenny, do you have to, for these like alternative medicines, do you have to believe that it will work for it to work? Do you get what I mean? Like you have to believe
Yes.
that, oh, if let's say I don't believe in TCM and I go for acupuncture and I was like, yeah, it won't work one lah, you know. So do I have to believe that it will work, then only it will work? Or
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yeah, if
So
you
it's
believe it
much.
don't work, it's a mindset thing. Because this energy already blocked for it to work. Right? Just like for example, it's like a love situations. If you see someone, some handsome guys, you fall in love with that guy. So you must have this courage to move forward and say, I love you. But if let's say, for example, that guy don't love you, will you still do it? No, right? It's the same. It's the same. Same comes to when you seek treatment. If you don't trust or believe that doctor, it will be hard. But that doctor must be genuine. Put it that way.
And also, I suppose it comes back down to the positivity that you were talking about just now as well.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what would you say to people who are skeptical of TCM and say that it's all just an ancient medicine that cannot work in these modern times?
Then I will ask them to, how should I say, then maybe look at China. How China treat COVID. I think that more than enough to prove how TCM works. Because in China, there is one Fangchang Yiyuan. They only use acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicines to treat that COVID patients, but not the severe one. Severe
Yeah.
one, definitely you need east and west, right? So, but that I think it's proven enough lah.
Okay. Because
But now,
I do remember reading saying that most of the COVID patients there also, after they get treatments in the hospital, they also follow up with Chinese medicines like herbs and things like
yes,
that. Do you think
yes.
that will work here in Malaysia?
Yes, but it will take time because at Malaysia it start out with moderns and the educations it's not Chinese. It's more towards westerns. Yeah, so it's a bit different. That's why that sometimes when we treat patients, it'll be very hard for us to explain it to them, this theory. So that is why that throughout the whole explanation need to take longer time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But they will still understand, but it just need time. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Jenny Goh, for your time and for explaining as best as you can to us how TCM helps heal your body.
Actually, Dr. Jenny, one more question if you don't mind me asking.
I don't mind. Go
I have
ahead.
trouble explaining to my Western friends heatiness. How do I explain to them? They don't believe it, you know. I say
Yes.
I'm very heaty, ho yeet hey. They're like, what in the world is yeet hey? You know, I'm like, what? How to
Hang
explain?
on a second, JD, you are Chinese?
I am
He's
mixed.
Chindian.
Yeah. Chindian, yeah.
That's why I say, how come you can speak the words or it? Hey, because you don't know Chinese. Heatiness, very easy, ma. You just ask them to use the plastic or phone. Use the
Okay.
phone. Because I also have difficulty in explaining this.
Right, yes.
During the MCO, the kind was nothing to do, ma. Stay at home, preparing for my PhD exam. So I was thinking how to explain to people that don't drink cold drink and don't eat cold fruits. It will cause phlegm. So I make an experiment and I put on YouTube already. So I don't know whether people can understand or not. I just try. But for heatiness, easy. You just can use a phone. You just put and then you use the nose like breathe out.
Breathe out.
Okay.
You see whether it has this how you call fog.
Yeah.
那个嗰個霧啊。
Yeah.
Fog lah.
Fog, like,
Yes.
correct, yeah.
Yes.
What
So you can do
like,
that. Or else is you can use your hand if that persons are sensitive enough. Use a hand, you see is it hot or not? Is it your palm hot or not?
Normally it's hot. What I mean, if
normally
it's not
it's
hot,
warm.
means you're dead,
Warm.
right?
Normally it's warm. But sometimes when it's hot, it's...
Yes, correct. So then, and also the other way, easy way, use temperature lah. Check.
Yeah.
See, is it hot or not? But sometimes if you have heaty problem, it doesn't mean that the temperature will go
Correct,
up.
yeah.
Because
I'm
once
heaty,
it go
but I
up-
don't have a fever.
Correct. So then also you see the lips or the tongue. If the lips turns red, then it's heaty.
Yeah. Because they don't believe... I'm like, go drink Wong Lo Kat and Tang Lo Leong Cha. They don't believe it.
Yes, they don't. But more and more now, Western people are going into TCM practice. So later parts, more and more will believe it.
That should be a hashtag yeet hey, you know? I'm like,
Okay, I will always remember like when I go see Dr. Jenny, it's like, don't cross your leg, don't cross your leg. And
yes.
in the beginning, I'm thinking like, what has
Only
crossing
girls
your
or what?
leg? Guys too.
Guys too. Because
I'm
you
like-
see what
I'm
happened
thinking like,
is
what has crossing your leg got to do with anything, you know?
same thing. So to behind you, JD, behind you have guitar, right?
yeah.
Yeah, easy. That guitar from the head to the toe, the string is our spine. If you twist one, if you twist one, what happened to it when you play? It doesn't.
Nothing will come out, yeah.
Yeah, same things go
right.
to human. If
Be
you
like
cross,
a guitar. Okay.
yeah, be like guitar. So when you cross leg, you practically twist your central nervous system because our brain from here down, central nervous system all the way down to our spine area.
But when
the
you sit
lower
down,
back.
you don't know kang what, right? You don't, right? You don't know. It's gentle, ma, you know, right?
No, you see, one client teach me, see how England people sit. The what royalty?
Yeah.
They sit, like that.
Straight.
So
Right.
if you want to be high class, sit like that. They teach.